Hey everyone, we've got 2 new Player of the Week sections on eFootball. I'm going to review the regular pack in this video. I'll be reviewing the Champions League one in a separate video. I'll quickly give you a summary of today's live update first. So we've got this weird random voting campaign. You choose your favourite position once per week for 4 weeks. So you get 4 attempts at this. Each time you get a free skill trainer, and apparently 50,000 random people are going to get a bunch of coins. 2025, because it's obviously 2025 soon. So yeah, random, but that's cool, I guess. Coin sale, you want some cheap coins? There's another coin sale. Happy days. This is the big one, really. So we got our Christmas campaign. So this is interesting to me. 1st to 3rd of January, 10 chance deals on Epic or Showtime players. I'm assuming that'll be a pack with like 100 or 200 players in, so we'll probably not get any, but we might get a few if we're lucky. We'll see, but it could be interesting. But this is really interesting. So what we've got currently, this pack has been added to the game, and from our objectives, from playing matches, scoring goals, whatever else, we get a bunch of chance deals. It's a 250 player pack with 5 legends in, so it's not a great chance. I don't know why they've expanded it to a 250 pack this time. That's a bit poor for me, but we do get this special, whatever they call it, selector token, so you can actually choose one of the 5 legends when you get that. That's fantastic. A lot of people have been asking for that kind of thing for years now. They have given us that with this campaign. So from these 5 legends, you can choose one. That's hopefully a sign of things to come. They're going to keep doing that in the future. I think that's really good news. So if you want any of those legends, happy days. And also down here, you get the regular stuff, some trainers, coins, GP and stuff, but also item selector. So again, they're letting us choose our rewards. So it's not a massive thing like choosing a legend, but still, EXP, skill trainer, position trainer, we get to choose one from a bunch of our objectives as our reward. That is fantastic. Again, I hope that's a sign of things to come, because I think that's a big step in the right direction. If you've been waiting for Eden Hazard, he is here. So happy days for you if you've been waiting for him. As I mentioned, there's a Champions League Player of the Week selection. I'll be looking at that in a separate video. There's nothing else really new. As I mentioned, there's objectives from the Christmas campaign. Nothing in the point store, of course. No new packs either. One disappointing thing today is that for some strange reason, they've not given us the AI event to get a free spin on Player of the Week. And that for me is extra annoying, because it's the 1 week they put a Newcastle player in, and I really want him. But it's the 1 week where we don't get the free spin. So yeah, Konami hate me apparently, but oh well. So let's have a look at this Player of the Week pack, then we'll look at the regular selection. As I mentioned, I'll do a review of the Champions League selection in a separate video. For this one, as always, I'll put timestamps in the description for each player. So if you want to hear about a particular player in this pack, just click on the description. There'll be a link to take you straight to him. And we've got 1 4-star player. Let's start with him. And he is Sergio González. So Leganes beat Barcelona. That'll be why he's in. He obviously had a good game. I didn't watch it myself. No face scan. I don't know if he'll get one at some point. It's 32, but yeah, we've got a 4-star centre back. And to be honest, he's a decent 4-star centre back. He's not amazing, of course. Only 91 rated, but for a centre-back with that rating, he looks decent to me. He must be pretty close to the threshold for being a bit high rated than that and getting into the 5-star category. But he's a build-up centre-back, 6'2", and yeah, he's pretty solid across the board, really. What we've been seeing with Player of the Week and Player of the Month centre-backs for a while now is that they do the same kind of thing with all of them, and they've done it again here. All they've really done, they boosted him down the right column and boosted his low pass a bit, and that's it, really. They just made him a bit better athletically, so he's got more pace and you know, the athleticism, and the defenses haven't really changed. So yeah, but he is a solid centre-back. Awareness and tackling with the maximum game plan boost, again here at 90. He's not the most aggressive. Defensive engagement a bit on the low side. That low pass with the boost he's had will get to the 70 mark with the game plan boost, which is nice. Pace is kind of alright. Not quick, but he's not too slow either. Jumping and physical contact a bit on the low side for me. Likewise heading, all 3 of those 85, but they'll all hit 88 with the maximum game plan boost, which is alright. Stamina's decent, that's had a boost of course as well. And then with the skills, nice boost here as well. So they're basically just throwing in man marking, fighting spirit, and aerial superiority and blocker, and new as well. So we've got heading and aerial superiority, man marking, insertion, blocker on the ground. Just really lacking sliding tackle and like right clearance, but those aren't massive misses really. I think really this is a centre-back card that obviously is not an amazing one. He's not a 5-star even, but for a 4-star I think he's good. I think certainly is one of these cards where I think I would just say for the Spanish League Challenge, might be well worth keeping hold of him as an option for that, because he might not be a great card, but he's not a bad one either. There's no glaring weaknesses there. Yeah, I think he's a pretty usable card, and certainly if you're new to the game as well, you want centre-back options, he could certainly do a job for you for a while until you get some better options in. So yeah, not a great card, but not a bad one actually, especially for a 4-star. And next we have Yunus Akgün from Galatasaray. So interestingly, this guy's in the Player of the Month pack, the nominated contract one at the moment. So you can get a 4-star version of him from there with a nominated contract if you don't want to spend your coins on this one, because obviously you don't get a free spin on this one for some reason. Same playing style. The positionally, that Player of the Month one has a left midfield. This guy doesn't have a left midfield, and you can't position train his cards. So if you want a version of this guy that you can play left wing, that 4-star might be a better option. But this is a 5-star though. The Player of the Month one, the main difference in terms of his ability, is a bit quicker. The 4-star is. This one's not quite so quick. This one's a bit better on the ball. It's especially got better low pass as well. So there's a few differences between this one and the 4-star one. But the main difference is you can get that one for free, obviously. So yeah, just a few differences to keep in mind. So you do have that alternative if you don't want to spend coins on this one. Comparing to his GP card, he's had a pretty good boost. The stamina, kicking power, defenses have been boosted, physicals as well. End product, like I say, that low pass, that's probably the key boost, the key difference with this Akgün card. They made him good at passing, and he's got one-touch passing, through passing. They've not changed a lot with his skills. They've just taken away Scotch move, which I think we can live without because they've added a long-range shooting. I think that's a big upgrade. So long-range curler, long-range shooting. He's a left footer playing on the right-hand side, so he's an inverted winger, long-range curler, long-range shooting. Finishing 76 is okay, so he's got decent finishing on him. That low pass 82 is one-touch passing, through passing. I wouldn't play him attacking midfield. For me personally, 82 is not high enough for low pass, even with one-touch passing, through passing, but you might feel that's okay. If you do, then you've got that as an option. For me personally, I'm just going to treat this guy as a right winger. I'm just going to say he's got very nice passing for a winger. Decent pace, not amazing. I'd like a bit more speed on him, but can't complain too much. Great balance, pretty tidy on the ball. Attacking awareness is a big letdown for me. 71 attacking awareness. He's a creative playmaker as well. I always say it is a personal preference, but for me, a creative playmaker on the wing is not aggressive enough with his forward runs, and especially with that attacking awareness being low, that could be frustrating. So that's something to keep in mind. But outside of that, as a creative playmaker coming with that right wing, being able to pass the ball and having a decent finish on him, I think it's a tidy card. Obviously, you've got that free version with a nominated contract if you want one that's not quite as good overall, but pretty comparable in my opinion, and he can play left wing as well. So I'm not sure how keen you would be to spend coins trying to get this one when you can get that 4-star, but he does have one or two advantages over that one. And it's a reasonably tidy card on the whole. And before I forget, it does have face scan as well. So yeah, one or two concerns. The attacking awareness is the main one really. It's a bit on the low side. He might not like a creative playmaker out wide as I don't, but he's got qualities there, and it's a decent card. This as an inverted winger could be a decent one to pick up. Next we have Ismaïla Sarr from Palace. So usually a prolific winger, he's now a whole player. They made him an attacking midfielder. They've added attacking midfielder as a fully proficient position, and they've very generously done what they've done quite a lot lately. They've given him a semi-proficient position on the card that you can't position train. Cheers for that. But yeah, we do have attacking midfield now, as well as right wing, both right midfield and the right wing forward. Whole player playing style will be active attacking midfield and right midfield. It will not be active as a right wing forward, although you can still play in there. You just won't have an active playing style. Looking at other versions of Sarr, there was one in the Ligue 1, I think it was a Ligue 1 Showtime pack. It was just a highlight card. It wasn't one of the Showtime cards. Wasn't quite as good as this one. A bit more pace and better dribbling than this one. But this one is a bit more physical, better low pass and finishing. So depends what you prioritize in terms of the attributes. But there was that trainable one. Of course, you can train that one to your tastes. Looking at the GP card, similar situation really. More physical and then product compared to his GP card. That's the main difference. Looking at the skills, what have they done? What have we lost? Chip shot control is gone. Penalty specialist is gone, and gamesmanship. And we've gained heading, long range curler, first time shot, and track back. Interesting. So we've got some good skills here. For a right footer who can't play on the left, long range curler is a bit of a shame. Well, it's not a shame that we've got that, but it's almost pointless. Sure, you might pop in good positions, especially if you play as an attacking midfielder. You could pop up in positions kind of inside left where a long range curler comes into the equation, but for the most part, I'm not sure it will be that useful. As an attacking midfielder, 81 low pass, doesn't have one touch pass or through passing. Similar to Akgün, I wouldn't play him as an attacking midfielder. Akgün, it's kind of borderline. I don't think his passing is quite good enough, but without one touch pass and through passing, for me personally, Sarr's passing is nowhere near good enough to be an attacking midfielder. That's just my personal feeling. He does have the shooting skills, long range curve, long range shooting, first time shot, finishing 83. So getting into good positions from attacking midfield and getting shots away certainly could be effective. Depends how you want to use him. And on the right wing, he's got pinpoint crossing, but 69 lofted pass. I mean, what's the point of having pinpoint crossing? His crossing's still going to suck. So I'm not sure how good he'd be at crossing from the right wing. I'm just so it's one of these cards where has he got qualities? Yeah, he's quick. He's okay on the ball. Low pass and finishing are decent for a winger. Passing for me not good enough for attacking midfield. So what positions he could be great in? I'm just not sure really. Maybe as a right midfielder, drifting inside, getting into positions to get a shot away. But even with a nice boost and his low pass, without the passing skills, I don't think his passing is that great. Yes, the finishing is good, but he could be better on the ball. Certainly that previous version that was in that Ligue 1 pack was better on the ball with the dribbling. Decent awareness for the whole player playing style. And then, like I say, the pace. He's got a bit of physical contact for a winger on attacking midfielder. That's decent, but yeah, just looking at the profile, I'm just not sure where he's going to be best. He's got some qualities. I think for some people, you may will find a way to use this guy where he's very effective for you. But for me, I'm just not sure which position that profile really suits. I don't really see him as an out-and-out right winger. I don't really see his passing being good enough for attacking field. So yeah, you might find a use for this guy if you can play into his strengths. You could get some use out of him. Find him as a pretty decent card. But for me, even though he's got some qualities, and again before I forget, which I almost did, got a face scan. But yeah, looking at the qualities, sure he's good in some ways, but I just don't see where he really fits for me. I'd say yeah, not a bad card by any means. I just think for a lot of people he might not quite fit into any of the positions. But if he does work for you, if he suits you either through the middle or wide right, could be a good card. And now we have another Anguissa Player of the Week card. We had a few. I'll do his face scan first this time before I forget. He desperately needs an update. He's had long hair for ages now. Come on, Konami. But yeah, I've had a bunch of Player of the Week cards of Anguissa. Similar level this one, to be honest. There's one Destroyer. Used to be a Destroyer, but quite a while ago, I think maybe a year and a half ago, they changed him into a box-to-box. So there was an old Player of the Week that was a Destroyer. There's one more recent one that was a box-to-box. Pretty similar. This one really the only major difference, not major difference, but this one's a little bit better on the ball. Not quite so good defensively as the previous one. So this one probably better as a box-to-box than the Destroyer. But yeah, pretty similar overall to those ones. If you look at the best trainable versions, there's one from a Legend pack that's probably the best. Slightly better than this one, but not a massive difference overall. You can train that one as well, obviously. Comparing to the GP card, defensives look identical. He's had a boost on his pace, his physical strength, his balance, attacking awareness is up a bit, a little bit better on the ball. They've slightly nerfed his passing, just slightly. But yeah, on the whole, decent boost. Looks like a pretty solid centre mid. What have they done with his skills? We've lost Sombrero. I'm not sure I can imagine Anguissa doing a Sombrero very often, but yeah, captaincy as well is gone. So Sombrero and captaincy gone. Soul control is new, nice. Fighting spirit, okay, nice. The one skill this guy lacks really is through passing. On his Destroyer card, I would like one or two defensive skills as well. On a box-to-box, he's got interception, and he's got sliding tackle and fighting spirit this time as well. But through passing is a big miss. So yeah, we've got a few skill moves, and soul control is a nice addition. One-touch pass and weighted pass, and then like I say, a few decent defensive skills. But without through passing, that's a bit of a miss. His passing's okay, but not brilliant. So yeah, on the whole, I would like a bit more on his balance. The attack and defensive awareness both are a little bit low for me. So I'm not sure if this guy's can be quite as kind of responsive as you want him to be. Getting into the right positions quick enough. He's all right on the ball. His passing's all right. He's just kind of an all right card. He's physically strong. He's got a bit of everything, but ultimately, yeah, it's a pretty good version of Anguissa compared to other versions that we've had. But yeah, there's just nothing special about him. So if you've not got a version of him, it could be a good solid card to pick up. Could be useful one maybe for the Italian League Challenge as an option in the middle of your midfield. But there's nothing really special about him. So like I say, not a bad card at all. But desperately needs his hair updated on his face scan. And yeah, there's nothing really special about it, to be honest. And next up is Booster Santiago Giménez from Feyenoord. He needs his face scan updating. That's a bit out of date. That hair looks rubbish. But yeah, Booster Santiago Giménez. This for me looks like it's probably the best version of him that we've had. We've had a Champions League Player of the Week version not long ago. Attributes kind of shuffled around. This one, if you look at the profile, the way the attributes are kind of balanced out, he's better suited to being a goal poacher. That's his playing style. That previous Champions League one, for me, the stats were kind of shuffled around, some higher, some lower. I don't think that one was as well suited to the goal poacher playing style. And when you activate the booster, as much as that Champions League one's similar overall, the booster makes this one better. So when he's on A form, this one is better. And it's the same story, to be honest, with the the best trainable version. There's a trainable one in one of those Legend boxes or maybe a Showtime box. It is trainable, but same playing style on auto allocation. I don't think the way that the attributes are balanced out quite suit the goal poacher playing style on that card. Yes, you can retrain him to make it more suited, but I don't think you can make him as good as this one as a poacher. So this for me is the best version of Giménez we've had, certainly as a goal poacher. And they're giving a good boost to his pace, a little bit better on the ball. He's lost a bunch of points off his balance, so that's the negative with this Giménez card. They've nerfed his balance. They do that a lot these days with attacking players. It's very annoying, but for whatever reason, yeah, the best version of Giménez has way worse balance than he normally has. But on the whole, like I say, pretty good boost, and I think this card does suit the goal poacher playing style fairly well. His pace is not exactly electric, but I think you can get away with that as a poacher for sure. I think he's just about quick enough. On A form especially, awareness and finishing going past 90. On the ball, he's pretty tidy, reasonably tidy for a goal poacher. Passing's not great, so don't ask too much from with his passing. Got reasonable physical strength. He's not exactly a beast physically, but he'll get to the 80 mark with a game plan boost. As I mentioned, that balance has been nerfed, and it wasn't that high as it was. So that balance barely getting to the 70 mark with the game plan boost. That's very frustrating. Make sure you set him up properly when you're getting your shots away. Don't try and snatch at your shots, because that balance will hold you back. Let's have a look at his skills, what they've done. So I don't think we lost anything. I think we just gained soul control. Long range curler, that's a nice one to have. One touch pass, handy because his passing's not great. And gamesmanship, and I think penalty specialist. So he's got a good selection of skills there. First time shot, the most important one. Accurate finishing. Long range curler, very nice addition. Heading. It's not going to be a beast in the air, but that does help. He will get a header here and there. One touch pass will help with his passing. So yeah. It's not an elite level centre forward by any means, but when he gets A form, I think he's very usable. Sadly, we don't get an Eredivisie challenge, but maybe you rock a Mexican squad in the national team challenge, or maybe you just like the look of this guy, or you like him in real life. But yeah, not an amazing card, and the balance is frustrating. I'd like it to be a lot higher than that, but outside of that, just about quick enough, I think, for a goal poacher. Good awareness and finishing, especially on A form. Pretty tight in the ball for goal poacher. There's a lot to be said for this card. It's not an amazing one, but if you're new to the game, you want striker options, could be a great one to pick up. If you like this guy in general, then it could be well, I mean, like I say, I'm pretty sure it's the best version of Giménez we've had, certainly in my opinion. So yeah, again, it's another case of not an amazing card, but I think it's a fairly good one. And if you like a look at this card, I think it could be a pretty effective centre forward for you to pick up. And I'm going to try not to be biased here because I'm a Newcastle fan, but this is quite simply the best left back that's ever been added to eFootball. Amazing pace, amazing stamina, defensively outstanding, amazing on the ball, just amazing. This is the best left back ever, best card that's ever been in Player of the Week. But seriously, no, this is a decent left back. I'm obviously very excited about this card because I'm a Newcastle fan, and it is a good card, to be honest. The main real negative with this card is its speed's not as high as I would like it to be on a fullback. 83 is a bit on the low side. He's not terribly slow. The acceleration is decent enough, but yeah, I would like a bit more pace on the fullback. So that's a bit frustrating, especially considering they've actually nerfed it from his GP card. It's the first time I've had a feature version of Hall, but what they've done compared to his GP card is his speed, his kicking power and balance are all down. It's really annoying on a fullback. You know, those are all important things, especially the speed and the balance. So big shame they've done that, but it is a good boost they've given him on the whole. But yeah, on the whole, it's a good boost. His physicals are up, attacking awareness is up quite a bit. On the ball, he's better, end product is better. Got more curl, which is going to help with his crossing, which is already fantastic. So yeah, he's had a pretty nice boost compared to his GP card. It's just annoying that some of those attributes, especially the speed, have been nerfed. I don't know why they've done that, but it's still a good card on the whole. If you like a bit more aggression on the defender, then that aggression might be a bit low for you as well. But yeah, outside of that, defensively, he's pretty strong for fullback. 80 plus on all these technicals before the game plan boost. That lofted pass is going to hit 90 with the maximum game plan boost. So 90 lofted pass in the 80s for curl and kicking power, even after they've nerfed his kicking power for some reason. And he's got pinpoint crossing. So fantastic cross on him. Defensively sound. Let's look at those skills. So they've added a bunch of skills here. They've added heading, one-touch pass, interception, blocker, and fighting spirit. So that's a real good upgrade in the skill department. Defensively, interception and blocker is great. One-touch pass and pinpoint crossing going forward. His crossings will be fantastic. He's pretty tidy on the ball. His passing's decent as well for fullback. Defensively strong enough, and he's got interception and blocker. Stamina's good, balance is pretty decent, physical contact not too bad. Yeah, it's just a shame there's no few attributes, so that's the one real downside, to be honest, and the fact that he still doesn't have a face scan, but he's still pretty young. Hopefully he'll get one soon. He's an England international soon, so hopefully they'll give him his face scan. But yeah, just a shame he's not quicker, really. I think for a lot of people, he just won't be quick enough for a fullback. And for me, if it was anyone else, I'll probably say that's the one thing that kind of spoils the card a bit. But for me personally, unbiased, I desperately want this card. And of course, they put a card in that I desperately want for once. In the 1 week we don't get a free spin. Thanks for that, Konami. But yeah, apart from the pace, good left back, but the pace is probably going to put a lot of people off. I don't think his passing, without through passing, I don't think his passing is good enough really to be a midfielder in the middle there. But you could maybe get away with him as a defensive midfielder if you're desperate, and as long as you don't ask too much from him with his passing. He's maybe lacking physical strength as well for DMF. Left midfield could do that. They have boosted attacking awareness. He's okay on the ball. His passing, his crossing is fantastic. So yeah, as an old school left winger, to whipping crosses in could be effective for you. Certainly as a wing back, a bit of an all rounder. If you play wing backs, could be very effective as a wing back because he can defend and he can pass and cross as well. So yeah, you got an option as a left wing back as well. But certainly as a left back, very good on the whole. Just a shame he's not quicker really. That might put a lot of people off. But outside of that, it's got a lot of qualities, and especially for a Newcastle fan like me, I'll be very excited to hopefully get this card, even though I clearly won't because I never get the cards I want. And here's our goalie. We've got Carnesecchi from Atalanta. He does have a face scan and he's decent. I don't think he's amazing. He's just kind of a solid goalkeeper. There's no real weakness here. With your maximum boost in the game plan, you're going to be 88 plus in all of these. There was a previous Player of the Week one, which is around about the same level, but I prefer the build on that one. The previous one has slightly better goalkeeper awareness, reflexes, and reach. This wasn't quite so good with the catching and parrying. I prefer the build on the previous one, but on the whole, this is about the same level. He's a very solid goalkeeper. But yeah, I think the one thing with this is just I would like that awareness to be a couple higher so you could hit the 90 mark with the game plan boost. That's a bit of a shame, but 6'3", very good reach. Reflexes going 90 plus with your game plan boost. Catching and parrying all right. Awareness is all right. It's a solid goalie, really. There's been one trainable version as well. I think it was in a Golden Boys nominated contract pack. Had that kind of black and gold background. Not quite as good as this one. Solid keeper, but not quite on the same level. But yeah, solid keeper. They've especially boosted his reflexes and catching from his GP card. So if you like this guy, if you've not got a good version, solid keeper. I don't think it's an amazing one, but I like the awareness to be a bit better. I prefer the build on the previous Player of the Week version of him. So not one for me to get too excited about, but he's a solid enough keeper. And if you don't have a good version, he might be worth keeping for the Italian League Challenge. So yeah, again, another case of not an amazing card, but solid enough and could certainly do a job for a lot of people. And now we have Lisandro Martínez from Man U. So I think most people were hoping for Amad Diallo after his performance, but they don't like to put people on Player of the Week twice in quick succession. So not a massive surprise to me they put Lisandro in instead. It's a booster version of him. And by my reckoning, it's the best version of him that we've had. I think the best previous version was in one of those derby packs that I used to do. The kind of, it was like a Man U, Man City one. Had a kind of, the background was kind of half red, half blue. That's the only one previously that's had physical contact even close to being as high as this one. All the previous ones on auto allocation, it goes up to sort of high 70s. That one went up to about 84 fully boosted. This one will go to 85 fully boosted. That's still a bit low for me. And that's the downside. You got a lot of qualities with this card, but the downside with this card is that he's small and he's weak. And that's not what you want from a centre-back. So build up centre-back. He can play DMF. I don't personally think he's good enough technically to play DMF, but you might disagree. If you don't mind him being a bit dodgy on the ball and not having great passing, he could be a handy little DMF for you. But for me personally, I don't think he's good enough down the left for that. But as a centre-back down the left, he's great. Down the middle, he's good. But annoyingly, they've nerfed his engagement and his aggression. That's pretty annoying, that. Still good though, even before the boost is activated. Awareness, tackling, and of course aggression, all going to be 90 plus with the game plan boost. Engagement 84 is not too bad, but I'd like it to be a bit higher. It's annoying they've nerfed that. Down the right, speed's kind of okay, especially with the acceleration being in the 80s, which is good for a centre-back. Good kicking power, jumping's good, it needs to be because he's tiny. Physical contact, as I mentioned, is too low on a centre-back. You need that to be a bit higher. Good balance for a centre-back. Stamina likewise. Skill-wise, before we activate the boost, what we've got skill-wise, they've just replaced Marseille Term with through passing. That's a pretty obvious change, and it's a good one as well on a centre-back. You don't need Marseille Term on a centre-back, but through passing along with one-touch pass and weighted pass and low-lofted passing, he's going to have nice passing for a centre-back, and then defensively, man-marking, interception blocker, aerial superiority, slide and tackle, flying spirit. So defensively, all you're really missing is heading and acrobatic clearance. That's about it, really. So yeah, I don't think you really need acrobatic clearance because he's so short, he's going to head everything. But he's got most of the skills he needs. He's got nice passing for a centre back. There are plenty of qualities on this guy. So I don't want to sound too negative. It's just on a centre back, 175 centimeters, low physical contact. Not great for me, but we'll activate that booster. As you can see, the awareness and tackling get even higher. So yeah, they on the whole, his defense has been nerfed a bit. But when you activate the A-form boost, the awareness and tackling are almost as good as his GP card. And in fact, they maybe are as good as his GP card. So at least some of his defenses can be as good as his GP card. And yeah, on the whole, we're just looking at it in isolation. If you don't mind the physical contact and the fact he's very short, it's a very nice centre-back card. This, like I say, I'm pretty sure this is the best version of Lisandro Martínez that we've had. A bit of a boost on his lofted pass, of course, after that pass for the late goal. And of course, the player of the week centre-back, his right column's been boosted. So he's had a nice boost athletically, like I say. Better physical. I think that's the best physical contact on any version of Lisandro Martínez we've had. A bit of a boost on his kicking power as well and his pace. Yeah, it's a really nice card, this. If you don't mind the physical contact, the fact he's a bit short, I think this could be a fantastic centre-back to have. He's going to be very nice on the ball for a centre-back. He can certainly defend. It's just for me, that physical contact, he's not strong enough physically and he's a bit on the small side. Yes, he's got aerial superiority and his jumping is good, but still at that height, he's not going to be great in the air. So yeah, the size and strength are a big issue, but apart from that, he's got a lot of really good qualities. It could be a really nice centre-back for a lot of people, and I think this is probably the best version of Santiago Martínez that we've had. And got his face scan, of course, before I forget. So yeah, so especially on A-form, really nice version of Martínez. If you don't mind the weaknesses that he's got, loads of qualities, could be a very nice card for you to pick up. And now we have yet another player of the week, Son. We've had quite a few. What's interesting with this one though is that his passing is where he's had the big boost. It's another booster, so we'll activate the booster in a second, but even before the booster's activated, he's got better passing than he tends to have. I'm not sure any version of him previously has had passing that good. Obviously, we've had trainable versions of him where you could maybe make it that good, but you'd sacrifice a lot of points from elsewhere. So that's the big thing with this Son card. So he's not as good with the awareness and finishing as some previous versions. They very much made him a kind of bit of a playmaker in terms of his profile, but prolific winger. So interesting that a lot of the times you've seen players like Salah who are kind of wide forwards who you know, Salah's had one or two creative playmaker versions of him where they boost his passing, giving him the creative playmaker playing style. With Son, they've given him more of a creative playmaker build, but prolific winger playing style, which is interesting. He's normally a roaming flank. Can still play as a centre forward, but there are a lot of previous versions of Son which have more awareness and finishing, especially the centre forward goal poacher version. So I'm not sure you'd want to use this guy as a centre forward. He could do a job there, but the awareness and finishing aren't great, and most people have had a better version of Son as a centre forward by now. But as a wide left player, yes, previous versions of him you can play wide left that have had a bit more awareness and finishing. There've been loads of player of the week versions of him, like I say. The ones that play wide left that are they tend to be prolific winger. Their stats are kind of shuffled around, and he doesn't have the passing that this one does. But like I say, it's the awareness, the finishing, and a bit more pacing on the ball in some cases. It's quite a unique version of someone because of the fact that they've taken points from elsewhere, put them on the passing. If you're not bothered about the passing, this might be a pretty disappointing version of Son. But if you think he's already got enough, you know, you look at the pace, the speed, acceleration, you're going to hit 90 with the game plan boost, kicking power as well. On the ball, he's going to be pretty tidy. So if you think he's good enough in those areas already, and you do value the passing on a wide man, this could be a really interesting version of Son for you. If you look at the previous trainable version, it's the same thing really. They've been trainable centre forward cards, which are much better at centre forward, not so good out wide. It's the awareness and the finishing and stuff. Especially the Showtime one is pretty much better everywhere. I think that's the best version of Son we've had. I would expect it is. But yeah, it's about that passing. It's about how important that is for you. If passing does matter for you, I think that this could be one of the nicest versions of Son that we've had. We'll activate their booster, and it makes the passing even better. That's how good it is. So you get your maximum game plan boost when it's an A form. Low passes going up to 91. It's fantastic. Kicking bar goes up as well, and curl. Looking at the skills on him, what have they done with the skills? So they've taken away acrobatic finishing, gamesmanship, and track back, and they've given us one-touch pass, through passing, pinpoint crossing, and outside curler. So yeah, already got long range curler, long range shooting, first time shot. Got a bunch of passing skills now and outside curler. This is a really nice looking version of Son. It's an interesting profile with the skills, the fact they made him great at passing. this is a really nice card. You know, he's still got really nice finishing for a left winger, cutting it onto his right foot with that finishing in the 80s before your game plan boost. The shooting skills he's got with long range curler. He's got a nice shot on him. He can really pass the ball and cross it as well now. In fact, I'll take that back. 73 lofted pass. They're good in pinpoint crossing, but his crossing is still going to suck. But certainly his low passing, through passing, would be very nice. Looking in compared to his GP card, the balance is up a bit. Physical strength is up a bit. Tight possession is up a little bit. Awareness, I think, is up a little bit as well. Possibly. Stamina's down. Yeah, they're taking a bunch of points off his stamina, actually. That's annoying. In fact, his attack awareness has lost a few points as well. But yeah, on the whole, like I say, there are previous versions of Son that might suit you better. It depends on what profile you like on a Son card. Looking at it objectively, in terms of the rating, it's definitely comparable to the better versions, but it's the way the stats are shuffled around. He's still got the pace, he's still good on the ball, he's still got good awareness and finishing for a wide man, not so much for a centre forward, but if you want a wide man, you know, a left wing version of Son who can pass the ball, this could be a really, really nice version of him for you. So yeah, for me personally, it's a very interesting card. I'd be pretty pleased if I get him. Be keen to pick him up. A version of Son that can shoot and pass could be really, really nice for a lot of people. It's a great card, this. Of course, he's got his face scan. I keep almost forgetting. But yeah, very different profile to previous Sons, and depending on what you value in terms of, you know, what attributes are important for you, previous versions might be better for you, and this might not be an exciting version for you, but if you rate that passing and he's good enough elsewhere, could be a fantastic one to pick up. And this is a very interesting one. So we've got Dembélé centre forward. So he's normally a wide man, normally a prolific winger. He's now a deep lying forward, centre forward. It's hard to really compare him to previous versions of Dembélé. He's never been a centre forward before. Obviously, there have been trainable versions of Dembélé, but even the best trainable versions, you can't make them as good as a centre forward in terms of primarily the attacking awareness and the finishing. So you can't really compare him to previous versions. So you've got to really just look at this one in isolation. And looking at it in isolation, it's a very interesting card. He's got good pace, of course, like he always will do. Kicking power's decent. Balance is alright. Stamina's alright on the centre forward. On the ball, he's obviously very nice. He's not as nice as he has been previously. That's what you're going to get with a card like this, where you take a winger and you turn him into a striker. You're going to lose a bit from pace, dribbling, and so on, but he's still very nice on the ball. Passing is decent. Let's look what they've done with skills. Have they given him one touch and through passing? Yes. So they've added, well, you already had through passing actually. They've added one touch pass though. They've added a first time shot as well. So the most important skills in a centre forward is, well, first time shot's the most important one, but on a centre forward, deep lying forward, you want that passing ability, one touch pass and through passing, 82 for low pass. This is an interesting card. The thing with the deep line forward, the thing with any striker is it, or any player, I guess, is that you look at the playing style and you got to look at the attributes and you look at the kind of profile they're giving him, and you got to ask yourself, does he suit the playing style? Is he gonna be effective with that playing style? This card for me could be really effective as a deep line forward. He looks really interesting, quick, good on the ball. He can pass the ball for a centre forward. The awareness and finishing, if he was a goal poacher, I'd say they're a bit on the low side. 84 and 84 maximum with your maximum game plan boost, you're going to get up to 86 on both those. So I would like a bit more on awareness and finishing for a centre forward, but as a deep line forward who's going to be dropping off and being involved in the build up, I think you can allow that because you've got so much quality elsewhere. He's going to be so tidy on the ball. He's got the passing ability. It would be nice if he had some more shooting skills actually. Long range curler, long range shooting would be really nice. As a deep line forward, picking up the ball from deep and popping shots off, but with the passing ability, he's got first time shot. He's going to be so tidy on the ball. This for me is a really nice looking guard. If you like a deep line forward, could be a really nice one to pick up. And if you like a wide man as well, if you want to use this guy still out wide, I'm not sure how good he'd be on the right because his crossing is not great, but he's two-footed, so you can always just cut inside. I've got a version of Dembélé. I've got one of the better trainable versions. It's quite an old one now. And I love him on both wings. He's really nice. He's quick. He's good in the ball. He's got a bit of end product. And yeah, this one might not be as good on the ball and with his pace as previous versions, but he's still good on the ball. He's still quick, and he's now got much better awareness and finishing than he tends to have. So even as a wide man, I think this guy could be a really good option. He won't have an active playing style playing out wide, either as a wide midfielder or a wide forward, but he's still good enough with the pace and dribbling and stuff. And he's got that extra awareness and end product now. So this for me is a really interesting version of Dembélé, not just as a deep line forward playing up front, but out wide as well. I think it's a really nice card, this. And personally, I'd be very interested to try him out, especially the deep line forward. So yeah, don't like the playing style, but he does suit it very well. And I think this is a really nice, very interesting version of Dembélé. And we'll finish up with Barella from Inter after they absolutely demolished Lazio away from home. That was an unbelievable performance. Barella scored a beautiful goal. Lovely strike from the edge of the box. That's what he's in for. That's what where the pitch is from. He, of course, has his face scan. And yeah, this is a pretty good version of Barella. So you look at previous versions of Barella, we've got a bunch of Player of the Week versions, all around a similar level to this one. Compared to those ones, this one's got a bit more kicking power. Finishing, that's where he's had his boost mainly. It's not so great defensively compared to previous Player of the Week cards. Pretty good on the ball though. So yeah, overall pretty similar to the previous Player of the Week versions of Barella. And likewise with trainable versions of Barella, he's comparable to the better trainable versions, to be honest, on the whole. Just the stats are kind of shuffled around a little bit. And even if you got the free version of Barella, actually, if you got the free one a while back from when Inter won the league, that one's pretty comparable to this one. This one's probably slightly better on the whole, but if you got that one, I don't think you really need this one. One advantage a lot of previous versions of Barella have, though, is that at some point in time, they took away interception, which is really annoying. It's a really important skill on a box-to-box centre mid. He does have blocker, but interception is really important. So that's a big miss skill-wise. What they've done skill-wise, what they've done, they've taken away acrobatic clearance and captaincy, and they've given him rising shot and outside curler. That sounds about right. He did hit it with the outside of his boot. But yeah, interception, big miss. But apart from that, he does have a good selection skills. He's got a few shooting skills there, or a couple at least. One-touch passing, through passing. Outside curler's nice, and blocker, fighting spirit. But yeah, good selection skills, just really missing interception. But if you don't mind the fact he's not got interception, unwavering form, comparable to most of the better versions of Barella, to be honest, it's a good Barella card. Tidy on the ball, decent passing. Defensively, he's all right. And yeah, down the right, he's pretty decent as well. So honestly, nothing that different about this Barella card to most previous ones. There's nothing really that stands out. He does have that boost with his kicking power and his finishing primarily. That's where he's had the biggest boost. Because he's had a pretty good boost on the whole from his GP card. Physically as well, he's physically stronger than his GP card, to be fair. I only just noticed that. But yeah, and the only one they've nerfed really is lofted pass. I think you'd live with that. But on the whole, yeah, like I say, kicking power, physical strength, finishing boosted. If you like those things being boosted, this could be a really nice version of Barella for you. But if you've already got a good version of him, you might not need this one, especially if you've got one that's got the interception skill. But on the whole, it's just a good, solid version of Nicolò Barella, to be honest. So there is your regular Player of the Week selection. As I mentioned at the start, I'll be doing a separate video later today reviewing the Champions League one. I'm still planning to do the 2 national team player packs, whatever they're called. There's the Europe and rest of the world ones. I'll be doing those as well. I'm done with work for Christmas now, so I've got a few days before I go away to see family, and I'll hopefully get all these videos done in those few days. Like I say, the Champions League one will hopefully be later today, and then over the next couple of days I'll try and do those other 2 as well. But yeah, in summary, this pack, decent. Another one where it's not amazing, but there's a few decent ones in there. Solid Barella card, very interesting Dembélé card. For a lot of people, could be a very nice version of Son. For some people, maybe not so much, but certainly for a lot of people, I think that could be a fantastic card. Lisandro Martínez, small and weak for a centre-back, but apart from that, best version we've seen of him. And for a lot of people, could be a really nice card. Carnesecchi, not amazing, but a solid goalkeeper. Lewis Hall, the best left-back ever seen on eFootball. Pretty good version of Giménez. That could be a very decent striker for a lot of people. Solid Anguissa card, nothing amazing. Sarr, for a lot of people, probably might not fit what the kind of profile they look for in a right wing or an attacking mid, but there might be some people who get a lot of joy out of that guy. Akgün, pretty tidy left-footed right winger. It might not be a bad one to pick up at all, although there is the 4-star available in the nominate contract pack. And then you got a 4-star centre-back who, to be fair, is pretty good for a centre-back. For a 4-star centre-back, he's not amazing, but he's pretty solid. So yeah, some decent ones in there. For once, there's a card in there that I really want, and for once, we don't get a free spin. So I don't have a free spin to do for you now, but I'm hoping to do a live stream tomorrow. I'm thinking maybe tomorrow afternoon. I'm doing this on Thursday, so that'll be Friday afternoon. I'll confirm on Discord and the community tab, but yeah, as of now, I'm hoping to do a live stream tomorrow afternoon, and I'll be putting some coins into this pack and failing to get Lewis Hall and then crying live on stream. So do tune in for that. But yeah, a reasonable Player of the Week like that. But there you go. Cheers for watching. Hopefully you found this useful. Let me know who you've spun, if you have spun it, and let you know who you think is good in this pack. Let me know if you agree that Lewis Hall is the best left back in Player of the Week history. If you disagree, we're wrong. But yeah, hopefully you found this useful. Thank you for watching as always. I'll be uploading the Champions League Player of the Week selection review later today. And then there'll be a couple more videos hopefully in the next couple of days, and hopefully a live stream tomorrow. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care.